Hello and welcome to MGP389. I'm Kevin. With me as ever, there's Sheepdog, Anna and Pab. Say hello, boys and girls.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
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 How are we all on this very warm evening?
Very warm.
Yeah, warm.
It's very warm.
Melting.
Let's be British and talk about the weather. It's so very warm. We're recording this on Friday night, as usual. It is currently 2 minutes before 10 p.m, and according to my watch, it's still 25 degrees Celsius where I'm sitting after a high of 34 degrees earlier today.
Feels like 4,000.
It is stupid. Stupid. And I know we're going to have loads of people who get in touch now and say, I live somewhere really hot. 25 degrees. You'd wear a jacket here in 25 degrees. Well, we don't wear a jacket here in 25 degrees. This is ridiculous.
We
For us,
die.
it's too hot. Yeah. We're nerds. We're supposed to be indoors where the elements out there don't affect us. But we have no defence against the elements in this kind of weather. We're not like these fancy countries that have air conditioning. We have central heating and insulation, and the heat won't leave our damn houses.
I've had to turn my fan off, and it makes me wonder why on earth people haven't mastered silent fans. Yeah, I know Dyson made that one, but I don't believe him. I've never checked that it actually is silent.
Apparently it does work, but it's like 300 quid, so...
Yeah. I'm not that warm.
It was cheaper for me to buy a decent mixer to just cut the air conditioning sound out than it was to buy a silent fan.
I consider just getting a load of ice and just keeping it about my person. Not literally on me, but just near me. But
Apparently rubbing ice on your wrist is a good idea. That cools you down because that's where you've got all your blood, or your groin. Like, pack your groin with ice and that will cool you down in no time. That's what I'm doing right now.
I might message my wife and say, bring me all the ice you can.
Fill your swimming shorts with ice, Sheepdog. Come on, you know you want to.
They've made a big difference since putting them on. A massive difference.
Wear normal... He was sat here wearing trousers when we started recording. I don't understand how his mind works.
They
He
weren't
sat
like
there
jeans.
moaning about how hot it was. There's still trousers. I haven't worn a pair of trousers since my birthday, and that was just a one-off. I haven't worn trousers other than my birthday since like the early May. Yeah, I just wore them on my birthday to confuse people.
I've been getting better at wearing shorts, but I'd still...
It's not a skill.
It's not normal to me, though. I've probably got like 6 or 7 pairs, and I bypass them. I just think, no, go for the trousers. But today it was just too hot, so I went for the slightly thinner trousers. Still preferring them over shorts. 'Cause
You're a
I might have to
very
leave the
strange
house.
man.
Because I know the day I just decide to wear shorts outside, you'll just drive by and mock me through the window.
I'm just desperate to see your wooden leg that I'm convinced you have, but you've never proven one way or the other. I don't know why you're so ashamed of it. Just own it, Sheepdog.
I know you've never seen me from the kneecap down, so I'm just...
I mean, I've never even seen your feet, and I've shared a room with you on multiple occasions. I've seen you sleep in your boots several times.
Exactly. There you go. You're never going to see them.
I'm gonna outlive you, and when I'm at your funeral, I'm gonna say, look, get that box open. I need to check his feet.
I'm going to put it in my will that people only get what they get left if you don't see my feet.
I'm gonna see his feet. It's nothing he can do. Once you're dead, you can't stop me.
You're going to take my shoes off, and suddenly all my money, all my possessions are just going to go into a furnace. They're just going to burn all my pets, all my jewels, all my gold.
I'm convinced you've just got like a terrible tattoo on your calf or something, and you're just trying to hide it from me.
All my paramour.
I'm certain that's what it is, like a nudie lady on your calf or something like that.
Yeah, she only goes naked in the heat. That's why I'm so ashamed of wearing shorts.
Me and Anna watched Tattoo Fixers the other day, and there was this person on there who couldn't wear shorts because he had a tattoo just above his knee of a pair of saggy balls that looked like they were dangling out the bottom of his shorts. I reckon you've got one of them.
That program winds me up. I'm sure we've talked about it before. There's a woman on there who said that she wanted her Casper the Ghost tattoo to be changed because she didn't like it, and it was one of the ghosts from Pac-Man, and she made this big deal about how it was Casper, and it was clearly one of the Pac-Man ghosts, and they turned it to something else that was clearly not.
She was too drunk. She got it done in B-Far.
I reckon they're all fake. They just get a little tiny. They're always this. I've got this tiny little tattoo. Can you turn it into this massive sleeve? So you could make that program. Just learn to operate one of those needly things and
learn to draw to a really high standard. Learn an entirely new profession, and you can do that program. I often think that when I'm watching Match of the Day, if I just got some boots, I could do this program.
You don't need to do that to do match of the day. You just have to sit there and talk. Made a fool of yourself there, Chapman.
He did do that. He did it at a football museum.
Ah, there you go. I've been on Match of the Day, Sheepdog. Pab is my witness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I commentated on a match and everything.
Well,
thanks for watching the vlog that it was on. It was broadcast to the internet to tens of thousands of people.
I watch your vlogs when the clickbait's good. You know that.
Don't do that. It just makes him do it more.
Which means my clickbait was on point today because he noticed my Content Academy video just like that. Yeah. Got him today.
That's it. If I bring it up in conversation with you, you know you were doing a good job.
Excellent. Other than the heat then, how are we all on this glorious week of ridiculous heat?
It's only been one day. It's not too bad.
It was hot yesterday as well.
Nah.
I went to Woburn in the week to relive the swans that we went on at my sister's wedding, and all I could think the whole way around was I wonder how many pint glasses there are in this lake, because my mate kept just hurling them over the fence, didn't he? I don't know if you remember, if you were actually...
He did. Yeah. No, I remember.
Yeah. But that's all I kept thinking. I was just like, I wonder if they ever dredged it. I wonder if they ever emptied it out for whatever reason and just thought, let's
I imagine he wasn't the first or the last to just stand there hurling pint glasses off of some decking into a lake.
The thing is, he's probably one of my most quietest and unassuming friends. He was doing that. Oh God! But I did. It's
just a way to keep himself amused.
Yeah, he was just like, "Oh, I finished my drink." I think the first one, there just wasn't a table next to him. He just thought, "Where do I put this?" He just held it, and then when no one told him off, I think it just became an addiction. I don't think he got me to do it because I kept thinking, no, I'm too related to the bride at my sister's wedding. It's like I'm just going to get in trouble. And then we ruined their railway, didn't we, on the way out? So
less of the we. I was just a passenger on that bus. So I ruined nothing.
So was I, but I figure we were somehow to blame.
You were throwing pint glasses at the driver.
I did check on my way through because I told Ollie about it for some reason. I don't even know why I told him about it. And then he was really
You tell him about all of your drunken exploits, don't you?
Yeah, so he was really concerned that the railway would be broken when we got there, but I went to show him. I don't even see how it happened. There's no way, unless you're well off the road, that you can drive over that railway.
I think we were well off the road.
I think that driver probably caught those pint glasses and drank from them. But I did go on the swans and ride around the lake. It is very frustrating knowing that you're about 4 times the weight of 2 of your kids put together, because I made them sit on the left side of the dragon we were in, and I sat on the right side, and I was still massively tilted. I'm glad actually Claire got a picture and it doesn't look too bad from the angle she was at, but there was a point where I was basically leaning left so that I wouldn't fall in because I was that far. And Ollie kept changing the side of the boat he was on, and it kept freaking Emily out because she'd just feel herself go up slightly because I was too busy trying to look at him. But yeah, I made it around that lake 3 times pedaling, and I'm quite proud of that with my terrible fitness. Because I don't think I did that before.
Especially doing it in that heat without shorts on.
Exactly.
You mental person.
God,
absolute insanity.
Oh my God, what was I thinking?
What is wrong with you?
God, I didn't even think about that. That probably explains a lot about that day. I had to keep drinking. I had a load of ice drinks on me that day. That also probably explains the weird looks I was getting from a few of the people when we were queuing up for stuff, and I just must have looked ridiculously hot. I came back severely red. I forgot to put suntan lotion on. On the top of your head, presumably. Yeah, and arms. Just anything that was bare was just red as hell. I looked like, a massive gammon. It's very embarrassing. He's doing it. That's twice now. He's doing it to himself. Nobody's being mean. I think it's because she knows that I'm getting in before you do. Other than that, I mean, I've been off all week, and that's the only time I've been out of the house. I've just been lounging around because it's been so hot. I played some games, which we'll get to in a bit. Yeah, I was going to say, presumably you've played lots of games in all that time, which is excellent news for this week of loads of games. It's basically the Sheepdog show this week. Very exciting times. Because I've played nothing, because I've spent my entire week trying to set up my new PC. Well, not my entire week, the last 48 hours or so. And I think I am finally there. But theoretically knowing how you should do a 2 PC setup
and then putting it into practice and not having everything break, they're two very different things. And I'm there now, I think. I was sat there streaming last night, not able to get any of my alert noises to come out onto the stream, like when people subscribe and stuff. And I couldn't, for the life of me, figure out what I'd done wrong. I was going through step by step in my head, thinking, "No, this is all right. Nothing is right." There was something wrong. I'd plugged a set of speakers in as well, so my line out cable wasn't working. Silly old Kev, rookie mistake. But yeah, that I've just been. My knees are bruised and swollen from all the crawling around on the floor that I've been doing.
It's going to be you done for a week, because when I was doing the floor last week with Claire, that wrecked us. So you're wrecked for the next week for knees. Not to get two bits and PCs on this, but when you have them side by side and everything, are they connected as though they're one and the same? Can you communicate with one without having a switch?
Sheepdog. Well, Sheepdog. I don't have a switch. They're connected in two ways. Way the first is I've got a 4K Elgato in the one that's receiving the images, and it's basically treating the gaming PC like a games console. So it's just taking the video and the audio in through an Elgato capture card, just so that it's easier that way than trying to get too fancy and technical with it. But for mouse and keyboard, I have the same mouse and keyboard operating both computers using actual magic and witchcraft. I've got the Logitech MX Master mouse and keyboard, which can connect up to 3 different devices at a time. Sheepdog asked. It can connect up to 3 different devices at a time, and then once you have it all set up in your program, you tell it where each of your monitors are for each of your different systems, and you can just move around between your monitors as if they were all on the same PC. And not only can you move between the monitors with your mouse, the keyboard follows the mouse. And you can even just copy and paste from one PC to another by dragging and dropping it from one screen to the next, or from PC to Mac, from Mac to iPad. It's ridiculous. It's utterly ridiculous technology.
So what I would, because like at work, I have 3 monitors and I can just set them up to go between the 3. But that's just that's doing that as PCs. That seems.
Yeah, I've got 3 monitors in front of me, and I can just move between the 3 of them as if it was all one PC. But it's not. It's 2 different PCs, and
that's
it's
really cool.
Absolute insanity, and it's lovely.
When you first mentioned it, I imagined you doing everything on one computer, then like dragging it all to the next one. I was like, there must be a quicker way.
Utterly seamless. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
And I officially have a better PC than Pab again, which is what it was really all about.
Yeah,
Watch him go out and buy a new one now. That was my only motivation.
Is that why you've been quiet this week, Pab?
What? Well, to be honest, no, because I only found out about what he had today. When did you put that video out?
Today, this afternoon.
Yeah. Then you came on Discord earlier. You didn't say hello. You sat there in silence when we said your name. You went, "What do you want from me?" It's like you're just so offended by his computer.
No, not at all. Far from it.
What have you ordered then?
I haven't ordered anything.
You sound like you're doing something.
Let's not go down that route again. We talked about that extensively before the show started.
He did, and he knows since Bouncy we've put a rule in place against that.
Exactly. Shall we move on to talking about some video games before this takes an awful turn? As soon as Bouncy's name is mentioned, that's a good cue to move on quickly. Who wants to talk about video games? Because, spoilers, the only one I've played this week is Football Manager. It's a lot of fun, but I don't know that you need to hear about it again.
They put out an announcement, didn't they, saying they are still bringing out a game this year. They're just going to figure it out as they go.
And, oh my word, some people are so stupid off the back of this announcement, because the amount of people who they put this one little line in there where they said they were working on getting it out on across platforms. And the amount of people who've interpreted that as, oh, it's coming to console. Well, no, it's not. It's already on PC, phone, tablet, Switch, Stadia. That's platforms. It wasn't an announcement that it's coming out on the PlayStation. It's obviously
weird.
not.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I thought it was already on Xbox, to be honest. I didn't realise it wasn't.
Hasn't been for many years.
Yeah. I know it was on Game Pass, wasn't it? So I just assumed I could get it on that if I wanted. Anyway.
Only on PC via Game Pass.
Part of me thinks they don't really need the season to start to still be making the game, but then obviously they were all put on a big hold because of COVID. Well, did they stop working?
Yeah, I mean the issue they've got is they're all still working from home now. They've not gone back into the office. So they're still working from home. So they've not been together in their office since like March. So it's all being built remotely. And not only is it all being built remotely, but of course they've got all of these changes that need to be put in off the back of still not knowing when leagues are going to start, not knowing when transfer windows are going to end. What we know so far is that the English transfer window is running until mid-October. So
the game would be pretty much...
Yeah, bearing in mind the window normally closes at the end of August and then you're lucky to have the game by the end of October. That's the amount of research and then testing that goes into that database before they can release the game. So if they normally need a couple of month lag time, they've said they still expect to get a game out by the end of 2020. If they do, I'm going to be very, very impressed because that's going to be some turnaround, bearing in mind all the changes they're going to have to make and the fact they've promised there will be some new features as well. So I'm going to be very interested to see what they come out with. My prediction that I made a couple of weeks ago on stream was I think it'll be out in January because I think they'll get to the point where there's no point bringing it out on the 19th of December because that's the worst time to bring a Football Manager game out because people are going to need to spend time with their families and the worst time to work there is when the game's just come out because you're handling all of the bugs and all of the social media and all that kind of stuff. Releasing a game just before Christmas just means that nobody's getting a Christmas. So I think they'll aim to get it out late November, early December. I expect them to miss it because I think that's ridiculous turnaround time. And I think mid-January is probably the most realistic time for it.
I mean, could they not get it out with a... I mean, they might decide to get it out and then aim to like change the stats of a lot of the players in January. Do you know what I mean? Like have whatever stats they had for people. I mean, most players that have moved in most important leagues will already exist in the game somewhere.
They ain't gonna put it out without up to date data. They are only as good as their database. If that's not
sure.
Right,
I mean, I'm saying every player will be at their right club. I just mean, I don't know. Let's say that City signs someone. I mean, they've just signed someone from Bournemouth, haven't they? Let's say that his stats are currently like 15s, and he's moved to City, and they want to make them 18s. I'm sure that people will survive with him being
that
15s.
I don't think they would. I think they'd be absolute riots. I think they'd be better leaving the game and bringing it out a couple of months later. I think they would be better off abandoning any plans of new features and just doing a data update. That's what Pez is doing this year.
A lot of people
they've already announced they're just doing a data update. FIFA reckon they're going to bring out a whole new game, which for them just means a data update anyway. And Pez have come out and said they're just doing DLC for the current game as a data update. I think I can understand why Sports Interactive would want to put out a full game. It's the only game they make, whereas obviously Pez is made by Konami. They've got a game catalogue. They'll survive if they don't bring out a game this year. Sports Interactive, although they've got the back in a Sega, this is the one game they make. If they decide to have a year off and just do a DLC, how do you price the DLC? Yeah, how do you price the DLC? I mean, do you do it at 15 quid and then lose loads of money? Or do you do it at 35 quid and have riots? Because people are like, it's not even a new game. Yeah, but the studio needs to survive. Yeah, you idiot.
People are weird. Some people see really vile tweets on there. Well, not vile necessarily, but it's just stupid tweets. And you were thinking, you need to understand these people are running a company and they need to exist. It was absurd, some of the reactions to that. But people don't care, do they?
No, people are nuts. But, I mean, like I said on Twitter, if they get the game out in 2020... that's a phenomenal achievement, even if it's just a data update. If they get it out in January, I think that's probably about right. I'll need someone to lend me some money if it comes out in January, because having the new game come out when ad revenue's at its lowest is not ideal for me. I'd like it to come out in November like it normally does, so I can rinse YouTube.
Yeah, I did think, how on earth are you going to do your normal new game bounce pre-Christmas, mega...
I've already accepted I'm not this year.
Just have to do a new game, wouldn't you?
That'd be even worse. It'll be all right. I've got plans to string FM20 out a little bit longer yet.
You're going to start your OnlyFans account, aren't you? We've been talking about it for a while.
People do keep asking me to do
Anna's ready.
Anna, you're going to be my photographer, my OnlyFans, aren't you?
No.
People will pay for that. People will pay for the privilege.
If you want to see Sheepdog in shorts, OnlyFans is where you see that, by the way.
Shout.
Just dropping that out there.
You'd probably pay good money to see my feet on it.
I would. I'd say you should set yourself up a GoFundMe where if you hit 10 grand of donations, you'll show us your calf. I'd donate to that.
if I get 100 people tweet me saying I'll make 10 grand out of it, I'll do it. So you mentioned working from home, which would have been a perfect segue for something that I spent the weekend last week doing. I wasn't working. I mentioned that the Go Fest was on. The big sort of everything that Pokemon Go happens at Go Fest. It's a massive event for them, blah, blah, blah. I never realised till after the event they did it entirely working from home, which is incredible. It's absolutely insane that they ran a global event like that from home. And not one person was in an office coordinating anything. They were literally just sat in their rooms at laptops.
I think that's how all game devs are working at the moment.
Yeah. So, I mean, and of course, it wasn't that I just hadn't thought about it. It's so obvious. But people, again, were being dumb. Because they were like, oh, for 3 hours on the Saturday, it wasn't working very well. It's like, yeah, because there was like their team of 30 or whatever it is. We're all at different houses in San Francisco, dotted around America, whatever it was, trying to make the damn thing work. But yeah, it was basically my perfect weekend. I think it ran from 10 o'clock to 8 o'clock every day. And I played it from 10 o'clock to 8 o'clock both days. The first day I went to Fairy Meadows. Had an absolutely brilliant day, just walking around, catching and doing the events and lots of challenges. You had
wear shorts that day, Sheepdog?
I can't remember. I may have, actually. I got a feeling I did.
Interesting.
Yeah. And there was lots of cool just little challenges. You had to sort of catch, say, 2 million fire types between all the people playing and then unlock a reward for everyone. So that was fun. And then the next day they had like a Team Rocket event where Team Rocket had taken over everything and you had to fight them. I felt a little... Before I found out they were working from home, I felt like if they'd have made some very minor tweaks, they could have turned that into a really good story that everyone was collaborating in, because they kind of set it up that Team Rocket had taken every Pokestop in the world and you had to just fight them for them back, but then their bosses got involved and they had legendary Pokemon. If you beat them, you got the legends, and then their proper big boss came in and he had a Shadow Mewtwo that was super powerful and you had to beat him, and then you got to catch that for the first time and it unlocked the mythical that they usually give away at the event. So I kind of ended up making my own story for it a little bit, which I know sounds really lame, but it's because I thought I bet if they'd had more time, they'd have probably done something a bit more like that. But yeah, I got to the 8 o'clock on the Sunday night, and I really felt like that was fantastic. I had such a great 2 days. I kind of was just a bit like, oh, I wanted to carry on, and I thought that's confirmed for me that in one way I really, really should try and go to a real life live one when they do one. Like they were doing one in Liverpool and I kind of bottled it because nobody I knew wanted to go, and I've always thought it would be amazing to try and do one abroad. Like I nearly did the one in France earlier in 2019. I can't remember if it's France or Germany now. I'd basically convinced a load of people we should just car share across, and then slowly but surely everyone bottled it when they realised it was probably going to cost them 100 quid or something. And it was like, but I think that would be great, but I think also leaving it would probably destroy me. I think I'd be really sad leaving an event like that live. It'd be a bit like, when you kind of come down from leaving EGX.
I'll come with you. I want to film you crying.
Yeah, I'd just be there in my Pikachu costume, just weeping. But it was
crying
just
into
so
your
good.
shorts.
I caught loads of shiny Pokemon, loads of really powerful Pokemon. I had some fun with Ollie. He didn't get a ticket because it was 15 quid, and I thought I'm not spending 30 quid on it. I don't think he'd have paid as much attention to it as I'd have needed him to warrant buying him one. But for people who didn't buy a ticket, it was still fun. And now they've got like 3 weeks of smaller events going on and quests and stuff, which is fun. But yeah, I had a great weekend. It was like, let's say, peak Pokemon Go. The best kind of, the way it could be, everything on, turned to max, and it was very, very, very fun. So yeah, I'm impressed that they did it all from home. A lot of people were moaning about the bugs, as I mentioned. But A, they're saying, right, we'll do loads of makeup time for them. And B, as I say, they were just sat, like someone pictured their setup, and it's basically the setup I'm using for the podcast at the moment, a MacBook. They had a microphone, they had headphones on, they were just I was sat at my wife's makeup table, and that's what this woman was basically just doing, sat at a very small desk, just running GoFest. And it's like, Jesus Christ, this company's worth billions, and like that's what they're doing. This is what they got to do. Everyone's got to do it, haven't they? It's COVID, but yeah,
exactly.
Well,
now I've talked about Football Manager and Sheepdog's talked about Pokemon. Don't worry, folks. Coming up later in the podcast, we've got Anna talking about Fallout and Pab's going to have some Fortnite for you, and it's going to be wonderful. That's going to be the show. Just we're going through the back catalogue, classics coming up, boys and girls.
I have got a new game in a minute, but I also
have not.
I also want to mention
Simpsons tapped out.
No, I said last week. I don't know if I said it on the show or whether I said it before the show. But the guys who created Suikoden, do you want to talk about it on the show? Do you remember? You won't, but Anna might.
Feels like a word I've heard you say.
It was an old kind of PlayStation 1 and 2 Japanese RPG. The kind of gimmick in it, it was a very cool story, and the gimmick in it was that there was like 108 playable characters you could kind of collect in the game to build an army. So it was like you kind of bump into characters while you're playing it, and if you recruited them successfully, then they would join your team and they'd give you benefits. Like sometimes it'd be as silly as you'd meet a guy who'd invented the elevator, and it meant that you had a lift in your castle. You could be a guy who invented windows, and you'd have windows in your castle. And then other times it'd be like someone who's really powerful, a wizard or a knight or whatever, and they'd join your team, and then it'd make your battles more powerful. These games were fantastic. They were like my favourite games sort of growing up. Absolutely fantastic games. There's like 7 or 8 of them, but they kind of just fizzled out. And
Wait, turn that down. Turn it down.
Thank you.
I was like, what is this music?
Turn it down.
Thank you.
Sorry.
It's all right. So I mentioned last week, I can't remember if it was on the show or whether it was to Anna, that the creators of the first 2 games, which were the best ones, they got together to do a Kickstarter for a game called Ayuden Chronicle 100 Heroes, and it's basically the same sort of scenario, that there's 100 plus characters you can collect, big old war, blah blah blah, and they set themselves a Kickstarter target of £300,000, and within, I think it was like 2 days, it was at 1.8 million. It's still going up. I just had to look at it, funnily enough. I loaded up the page, and I'm watching it just go up a couple of £100 every few seconds. It's got 28 days left on its Kickstarter, and it's done 4 times the amount they're aiming for. So yeah, I'm excited, because that means they're going to bring it to PS5. They're going to bring it to Xbox. They're so good at making games. I can't wait. It's going to be brilliant. I reckon it'll be up Anna's street. It's just an RPG. They'll be good. But yeah, I just wanted to mention it because I'm just impressed. I didn't realise there were that many people that would have cared. Like, none of you. When I mentioned this to you guys, you're like, "What are you talking about? I don't know about." And you like to make me feel like a damn fool, Kev.
You are a damn fool.
But yeah, it looks like it has got a lot of popularity, and it's had 24,500 backers, which is very impressive. Lastly, I wanted to talk about Grounded. I don't know if you saw that on Game
You played
Pass.
it?
I played it, yeah.
Okay.
Do you know what? I got this the other day, told my son in no uncertain terms he should not play it because he's absolutely petrified of spiders and bugs and so on and so forth.
Oh, yeah.
And I can't remember what the age rating is. I want to say it's like a 12 or something. And I just said to him, do not play this. And then the next day I got up and I walked downstairs, and the first thing he said to me as I walked in the living room was, "I had a quick go on Grounded earlier." I was just like, "I specifically told you not to." He looked so gutted. I think he was expecting me to be like, "All right, what was it like?" And I just was like, "No." But he said he really enjoyed it. He thought it was really cool. He said it was blooming hard. He didn't know what he was doing, and
no, there's no tutorial. It's annoying.
Yeah, he was like, "I'd like to see you play it because I didn't know what I was doing." And so I got round to playing it, and I mean, first thing I did was I took it off medium and put it on mild, because I just thought I'm not going to play this on a hard setting. I mean, I know he's 7, so his opinion of it being hard is a bit different, but. And I forgot to tell him that I turned the difficulty down, and he was going to be, "You're really good at killing these," and I should have just said, "Well, I have turned it down," but I let him think I was cool. I'll have to tell him tomorrow now, because that's eating me alive already, that I misrepresented my skill. But yeah, you're right. That explains nothing. Like I enjoyed playing it, and it did not make me motion sick, which is shocking, because the moment it started, I thought this is going to make me incredibly ill, but it didn't. And I have no idea why. I wish I knew why, because then I could sing about that to the world and make sure that all games do whatever they did. But it took me a little while to figure out what I was supposed to be doing. I got murdered by an ant, absolutely slaughtered by an ant within seconds of turning it on. Like, I was walking along and this cute little bug walked by me, and I thought, and then this ant started attacking it. So I picked up a stone, a pebble, and just started smacking it with it.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, well, that's it. It turned and it just murdered me. I tried running. I ran into a little like research base,
Yeah.
and I thought, "Can't get me in here, can you?" Huh? And it just jumped through the door and killed me. So then I had to make my way across the floor again, the terrain, to that little research base to pick up my backpack. And I just thought, okay, the cover and the aura around it paints the picture of it's Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, and that they've been shrunk by mistake, and you're kind of like, oh, what? When you start it up, she's like, oh, guess that may be small, and you just walk into a research base and she doesn't question it. And I just thought, hang on a minute, this kid works for some sort of scientific shrinkening people thing. What? And then she just kind of wanders off, and you can pick up mushrooms and eat them. You can drink puddles and make you sick, although it didn't seem to actually make you sick at all. It just made the screen go a bit yellow. I didn't really know what was happening there. It kept telling me not to drink from puddles, but I carried on because it wasn't actually having an effect. You're supposed to drink raindrops from grass. It took me ages to figure out that I could craft an axe. I kept thinking I would find an axe because it was saying that you can't cut the grass down unless you have an axe to do it. You've got to cut through whatever stuff. I ended up building a spear and a hammer, and I'm trying to think what. I basically found this machine, and it said, "Do you want to press this button?" It's like acting like, "Oh, question mark, should you do it?" And when you do it, it kicks off all the other missions of trying to figure out why this machine's not working properly, how to get it working properly, and that kind of encourages you to build all the other parts. I felt really like that. I was like, okay, maybe the whole game is trying to figure this out and become not small. Like maybe that's what I'm supposed to do, and it doesn't seem like it is at all. I did the missions around this machine. Something blew up, and I had to go find out why it blew up. And then, have you played the whole of the first kind of mission on that? Or
I turned it off.
Turned it off. Okay. It kind of goes a bit mad. I don't really get it. This isn't spoilery because it's so early in, but basically, I went to this tree because part of the machine blew up that you kind of tried to fix so that you can make yourself bigger again. And inside the tree was this whole lab of all these shrunken robots, and they're all just chatting to you like, you don't necessarily know who they are, but you're just, yeah, you're here, you're in our lab, come on in, let's figure this out. And you can just do little missions for them. But then it kind of just said, oh, that's all we've made, actually. That's the end of the game. Come back soon.
Okay.
So you can do lots of little missions, which I was doing. They wanted you to go and research cutting up grass, dried grass, breaking stones. You can explore a bit, and I'm sure there'll be bits that you can uncover that are little side quests. But it was just like, yeah, we've not made any more game. And I thought, why is this on my Xbox then? Like, why have you released it now? I imagine they probably just set a date and then
it's
went
a
with
game
it despite
preview.
COVID.
Yeah, it's early access.
I know it's early access, but why early access to that point? Surely? I don't know. Why? I mean, early access kind of bothers me as a thing anyway. I just thought it was something that PC gamers liked, and now it's become a thing where...
Xbox is a PC platform now.
But yeah, I've not got any negatives about it. The game itself, it seems fine. I don't know that it's particularly my thing. The fact it hasn't made me sick means I feel like I'm obligated to carry on because very few games don't make me sick. But yeah, I just see what happens. I guess I'm a bit worried that I'll play it, get into it, and then not that I begrudge buying games, obviously, but I'm worried that I'll get into it and then they'll go, right, now we want you to play it, and I'm thinking, well, hang on, I've just bloody play tested this and done all your early access shenanigans, and now you're suddenly gonna, do you know what I mean?
Oh no, it'll be on
separately.
Game Pass. It was on the Xbox thing over, I think it was last Thursday. And everything that they show on there will be on Game Pass, so it will be on Game Pass when it comes out.
Cool. Okay. I mean, I'm
I'm
not 100% like saying I wouldn't want to pay for a game because I obviously would. I pay for plenty of games. I just mean early access. Just I find it a really baffling, weird kind of thing because I have seen companies do that in the past where you kind of pay for their early access and then you end up buying it again later on when they've fixed it, and you're like, hang on, that's not really fair. So I was just a bit worried, really. Not that I paid anything for this, but no, I enjoyed what I got from it. It was if you just stick to the story, it's quite short. what they've made so far. As I say, that's part of the reason I was a bit confused about how, like, give it another month and then release it as twice as long. But it seems like they got it to the lowest viable amount of game and then they've thrown it out. I suppose that makes sense. I'm not a game tester, am I? As I'm saying it, I'm thinking, yeah, that's probably the sensible thing to do. Get it out there, get all the bugs sorted, and then crack on with loads more story. But like you say, they didn't tell you anything. There wasn't a tutorial. Didn't even tell me how to... Because I suddenly stumbled across the fact I could craft an absolute ton of stuff. Torches and bow and arrow and a crafting table that could craft even bigger things. And it was... I mean, I guess they're trying to promote an exploration. Like Minecraft doesn't give you any tutorial, does it? I mean, they seem to be going for the bug version of Minecraft. The smallened version of Minecraft. Maybe they want it to be that you end up building your own, big habitats in there or something. The robot did say get out there and sort those bugs out. They think they own the place, and so yeah, maybe that's their plan. You'll just end up building stuff out of small stuff. But yeah, it was an interesting idea. I saw it kind of got like criticised for making bugs the bad guys. Oh, games have bugs, and I thought that was a bit weird because A, I can't think of that many, and B, like every other bad guy seems to either be like a Nazi or an alien in every other game. So what is the? Do you know what I mean? What's the problem with it being bugs again? But yeah, check it out if you got Game Pass, because why not?
Yes.
Why not, indeed. Who's next?
Anna, take it away.
What have I done this week? I went back to Ghost of Tsushima.
Okay.
Tiramisu. So I played
Tiramisu.
Tiramisu.
I play more as the ghost than the warrior, but now I understand how the warrior works, so I'm standing people off more
Yes.
than I used to, because now I understand the controls, because the controls are fiddly as anything. But now I know. I'm doing it. I finished Act 1. I was supposed to go on to Act 2, but then I went back to the first third of the island, so the first area, and cleared it completely. And then
Nice.
I went to the second one, and it goes, oh, you need to go back to the first one and get all these and take, because apparently, like, there's farms.
Start taking the farms.
Yeah,
Yep.
but I already done
Yep.
it. And collected.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'd already done.
Collected all the keys.
Yeah, so I've got 4 of them from the lower island, and now there's like 2 or 3 in the.
Oh, really? That's what really.
Yeah.
I got that far this week on stream, and then yesterday off stream, I was like, I don't really want to push the story much because I want to do it on stream, and I was like, I'll just go and do them farms then and get this super armor then to be surprised.
Yeah.
And I was like, I got all 4 keys, and I went, right, okay, here we go. Where do we go next? And I was like, there's nothing here.
No, there's
nowhere to go.
So when you're in the second, third,
Right.
there should be like a blue icon that you go and listen to Man About a Story.
That's right. Yeah. The another
so
ones.
he tells you that these are keys, and I went to, so I'd already had the keys from the other ones. So when I went, because I finished Act 1, I went back to the first part because I wanted to clear it because it was doing my head in, because some parts were open and some weren't, and I was like, it's driving me insane. So I cleared it, and I was getting these keys. I'm like, why? And then so I had these 4 keys, and then this man tells me about, oh, you have to go all these farms to get these keys. I'm like, yeah, but I have 4. So I kind of broke the game because I couldn't leave it the way it was. It drives me insane. So I've got 4. Yeah. There's like 6 keys, so I think there's 2 more in the second, third. And they showed up, like they instantly showed me where they were, and then I went on to. I was going to do that tomorrow or something, but I'm there, and now I understand how it works. But at first, I had no idea what they wanted me to do for this game. I just couldn't. Because I like to button bash when I don't understand it. I like Assassin's Creed Odyssey's battle system. I just think that works really well, and I know what I'm doing with it, because like when you're playing that, your powers are all on the screen all the time in the bottom corner. So I know what I'm doing. With these, you have to press a button to get them up, if you know what I mean. So if you wanted to get your smoke bombs out or your sticky bombs, you have to press a button to get them to come up. And I couldn't understand why it was like that, and it was too weird. But now I'm fine. I'm fluent in being a ghost.
Grips.
Yes.
Got to grips with your stances.
I did. Now I have all
the stances
of them.
The stances are incredibly, like, you don't quite grasp it at first, but like I say, once you've got it, it becomes second nature to you. You're like, okay, he's got a spear. Okay, right. You need the wind stance for the spear. Okay, boom, wind. Okay, he's a shield straight to water. Boom, let's go again. Okay, your sword straight back on stone. It's so good, and it took me a while because when I was streaming it, I had my camera over the bottom right hand corner where the things were.
Yep.
So I couldn't fathom it. I had to keep turning the camera off. And I was like, until I started to get used to it, I had to just have the camera off for a little bit to get to grips with what I was doing. But yeah, it is. I've pretty much played that exclusively this week. It's good
because it's not just beating up people. It's you're saving towns. You're going to fox dens. You're following birds and doing bamboo strikes. And then I found these like puzzle mountains. Love them. They're excellent.
Hold up, puzzle mountains, the shrines.
Yeah, I just call them puzzle mountains because you have to platform up it, and I'm like, I can do all of that, and they're fun. So there's a lot to do.
So you're liking it now then? Because you weren't as keen last week.
No, I was just like, I'm not interested in it. But I think I needed to get past that barrier of I have no idea what I'm doing, and the fact that I like having everything on the screen, so I know where I'm going instantly. Because I don't like to think when I'm playing a game. I just want to play a game. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to think about what I'm doing. But now my fingers know where they're going and what they're doing. So I go to it. So I played that, and then I played like half an hour of Mirror's Edge Catalyst just because I wanted to. Okay. Because it was there.
Yeah.
And then I played 45 minutes of Fable 3. Because I wanted
Fable
to.
3.
It's because I was listening to a podcast and they were saying the woman that narrates it is a woman that's from like British TV shows, and like I know who she is. So I turned it on, started the game. It told me about a chicken, and then I was listening to it. I was like, oh, it is that woman. She's like from, I forget the thing, but she was in Harry Potter. She had really short blonde hair. But I forget her name. But it is her. And I thought, so I played that for a little bit today. And it looks awful, bless it. It is like so old. And it's like, but it's because I saw the new, when they did the Xbox thing, Fable was like the last thing that they showed. And I was like, oh, Fable. I remember Fable. I liked Fable. I liked Fable 2 more than 3 because 3 was a bit, but 2 really enjoyed. But I tried to play 2 long time ago and it wasn't great. So yeah, and then I installed The Division 2 and I went in it and I was like, why am I doing this? No one is playing the game, and it's really because it's
really
like, you know how you go to areas and then you matchmake, because doing is it instances by yourself is not great. It's not fun all the time. So you get into a group of like randoms, and because there's no one in the early sections of the game, there's no one to play with, so I was like,
imagine everyone's moved on to the DLC, haven't they? 'Cause it's a different island, isn't it? It's back in Manhattan.
I know, I was in Manhattan. And
were you?
Yeah, the early ones, there's nobody about. Not a single, when you start the game and you get put into a lobby area where everyone is, like the safe houses, there's a bunch of people there, but they are like way higher than I am, and I'm like, whoa. So I was playing it, I was like, and then I was in this area where, so I'm after a rogue agent, and he has video projectors that project a hologram of himself. And I was doing, so it's a closed area, you cannot get out because you have to like jump over and then you drop into it, and then that's your arena. So you go for it, there's a bunch of holograms everywhere of him and his buddies. So they don't move, but the baddies that are really there move. So you can pick them out of the wire who's moving. Anyway, so I took the main boss down, and then at the end of it, it was like, go and search his body. The body was 220 feet above me, and there was no way for me to get it. And then I went on, yeah, I know. So I went on the internet, I was like, where am I supposed to go? Because I wanted to turn it off because I'd had enough, but I wanted to end the mission. And apparently it's a known bug. It's been in there for months. No one is fixing it. So if you go and do that mission, and you get to the end of it and you kill him, he can end up 220 feet above you, and there's nothing you can do. You just have to either fast travel out of the area, but sometimes that doesn't even work because you try and fast out the area and it won't let you until you've searched his body. So you're just stuck in this continuous loop of not being able to get out. So I just turned it off and I went, no, I cannot be doing with that. That's annoying. So yeah, Division 2 has a few bugs. Like they did when I started the game, it did come up about they've added some new missions, but because they're working from home, none of the localization languages work, which is fine. I understand that, and I understand there's bugs and they're not in the office. But this has been going on since that launched, and I believe it launched last year. The Manhattan, New York. Is it New York?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
And it's
like in New York.
Yeah, it's not being fixed, and it is really frustrating because you can't get out of it. Like, you literally are just stuck in this loop because you're like, right, I'll flash travel to that safe house, come back, and try and go, and then maybe it will load, but no, it just kept loading me into the same thing, so I just turned it off. So I did that whole mission by myself for nothing because I can't find him. But these things happen. It's just one of them things. And then I also saw Outward this week.
Outward.
Outward. Is it Outward?
Onward.
Onward. Yeah.
That's not a video game. That's a movie.
No, but I thought I might as well talk about something new. I went to see that.
We left the house.
Yeah, we went out. We went to the cinema, and that was an interesting experience. So we went on Tuesday at lunchtime. It was in a showcase. Basically, you get your chairs, and then there's 2 chairs either side of you that are empty, and the people behind you are far enough away that they can sit behind you because they have got massive gaps between the chairs here. So this was before the new restrictions today, so I believe now you have to wear a mask in the cinema. So we watched. I saw that earlier. Yeah, so we watched that. It's basically Frozen for boys without the music. It
was excellent.
It was. I
was going to say that sounds terrible.
No, I was watching it and I was like, oh, okay. So it's like you know, the Frozen is sisters and they love each other and they'll do anything for each other. This was that, but for brothers and boys, and they're growing up together and they're like the best of friends and stuff. It was cool. It was lovely, and it was Spider-Man and Star-Lord, so, you know, it can't get any better than that, really. So I just mush them together. Great film. Frozen for boys. If you got a boy or a girl, go on and see it. But it is very... it's got boy humour in it, and I was just like, yeah, okay.
It's a poo and fart.
Kind of. Kevin was just there, loving it. Like, I was just like... yeah, okay. But Kevin loved it. But there's no sing-song, which I'm annoyed about.
Good.
Like, I'm annoyed about because I like sing-songs. But then I don't know.
Anna texted me. When did you text me? Earlier in the week, telling me Good Girls Season 3 was out on Netflix.
It was probably Wednesday.
I was 4 episodes from the end last night, and it was 11 o'clock, and I thought, you know what? Screw it. I'm talking to Anna tomorrow. I'm going to watch it. I feel like I had to go and check whether there was the other half of the season coming out.
Yeah.
There isn't. They're just going to do a season 4 later on. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I did that.
Yeah.
I was like,
I'm very tired today. You guys seem to be dictating when I have ridiculous late nights at the moment because Pab told me, "Well, you nearly finished your game," and I sat up till 2 a.m. doing Last of Us the other week.
Yeah.
I thought I'll finish Good Girls, and just let me have a normal night next week, please. You lot.
I don't think there's anything this week, but it was missing. Yeah, it felt like it was missing half a season.
But that, again, could be COVID.
Yeah, it could.
But it was still very fun though, very good. I want Claire to watch it. She keeps not wanting to, but she's never seen it, so she doesn't know what it's about. But yeah, watch that, people. Good Girls. I feel like we should let Pab talk about games rather than Netflix, though.
Have you watched Little Fires Everywhere?
No,
you've got to watch that. It's so good. It is, isn't it, Kevin?
Acceptable.
Pardon?
It's acceptable.
Yes, very good. You should watch it on Amazon. Right. I will leave it now. Sorry, Pab.
It's all right. It's not a problem. Okay, so this week I've been playing a game that Sheepdog has talked about before.
Pokemon.
No,
Tapped
you're
out.
crazy. No.
Mass Effect.
No.
How deep are we going into the back catalogue?
Not that deep.
Not that year.
I started Ni no Kuni this week.
Oh, I nearly went back to that recently because I
Yeah.
realised I haven't completed it yet.
Yeah, Kevin was in your stream, wasn't he?
Yes. Yeah. He was going to Argos, I think he said. Was that
Yeah, we were on our way to Argos. I don't remember why. What were we buying in Argos, Anna?
Andrew's size.
Toy Story figures. That's right.
There you go. See, yeah. Yes, we started Ni no Kuni on stream last weekend. And I played for about...
Is this the
3
first
hours?
one?
Yeah, first one. With all the Ghibli cutscenes and stuff like that, and it's...
The first one's good. The second one...
Yeah, first one, yeah. I think I got it for like 11 quid, I think it was. And I was like, yep, okay, I can go
What,
for
on
that.
Switch?
No, on PC.
I was going to say, I spent 50 quid on
PC.
it on the Switch.
No, on PC. It's still quite expensive.
I still feel guilty because I said to Claire, I really want to play it. It's a fantastic game. I love it. I really want to get on it. I want to complete it. And then I've put hours into it, but not tens of hours.
Yeah.
And it's a tens of hours game, isn't it? So you might inspire me here, Pab. Maybe that's what I'll sit up till 2 a.m. doing next week.
Oh god, is that what I've done? Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. Like I said, the cutscenes are great. The voice acting is good.
Yeah.
And the gameplay is kind of like Pokemon.
It's kind of like all the
little
JRPG type games, isn't it?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I'm not really into JRPGs at all, but it's like you're not like it's not really turn based, from what I can tell. You're all based on like an energy meter, aren't they? Everything's based on an energy meter.
It's kind of turn based early because I think it's all about the speed, and everyone's speed is quite balanced. But I guess later on, your speed will be a lot higher, and then some villains will be higher than that. I feel like it needs a skip button. Most games need skip buttons these days. It needs an ability to turn off the bit that kind of it spends time doing something that you don't really want to see. I feel like games suddenly learned that soon after Ni no Kuni existed. I don't know whether the second one is any better at these sorts of things, but yeah, all I can think of when Ni no Kuni gets going is, oh my god, let me skip this. Like the story I want to watch, but some of the faffing around, you're like, come on, get on with it. That's why I really enjoyed playing the older games with the 3x speed button on, because I didn't have that problem then. I feel like I've just got really impatient. But how far through are you?
Like I say, about 3 hours or so. I want to say I got
the king cat.
Yes. I the last thing I did was the king cat disappeared, and I had to go back to my world to find the cat, and then I found the cat and put it back in its rightful place, and went back to is it called Ding Dong Dell or something like that? Yeah, I was like, yeah, went back to that. Went back to the Ding Dong Dell, and he was back.
See, I was going to guess I'd played this for like 8 hours. Now I'm thinking I probably played it for about 4.5, 5.
Yeah, you didn't get very far
ahead of you. Yeah, I'm not that far ahead of you. I did the cat stuff, and then I was off for the next bit. I'm trying to think what you do next. I'm sure I did the next bit on
you
that.
You go and find a girl, and she joins your party.
Yeah, I think I've got the girl. I think I've got more than one monkey thing, whatever it is, the little creatures. But yeah, I need to get back on it. I was talking through my pile of shame with someone in this house, I forget who, and I realised as I was going back through it, I thought, oh my god, and the chain started with Ni no Kuni, and I just need to play it. Maybe I need to set myself up. I won't tell you I'm racing against you, but then I'll have a secret race with you in my head, which I've kind of already failed on by telling you.
Is this on PlayStation? Because I did enjoy it.
I think the remaster is. I want to say it probably is. If it came to Switch, I imagine it probably would have come to PS4.
I feel like Switch has got to be the best way. I know it's the best way to play anything. As Kev will no doubt chime in, but yeah.
I like trophies though. Like,
couldn't you just buy one from a trophy shop?
No.
Oh wow.
Same. I don't know why. I'm addicted to them. I love getting the ding and like yes, find out what that is. Love it.
Well, I can tell you, I did do that this week when I've been playing Tsushima a lot, and I don't know how hard it is to get the platinum in that, but I could quite easily see myself doing it.
Yeah.
It's similar to Spider-Man, where it's just like just go around the map, just kill everything in the map, and just wander around and do what you want, and. It does. If it is literally just fill out, complete all the missions, collect all the collectibles, then bring it on, because that is. If it's like play this game on hard or whatever you like that. I need to have a look, see how hard it is, because I could quite easily see me doing it, and it's.
Play it on hard is really lazy, isn't it? Like do it in the stupid mode where you're just gonna make you cry. Well, that's not fun.
Yeah, but
the thing is, there's nothing in this game that you don't. I'm trying to say that you're not going to do anyway. There's no stupid things like cut someone in half 22 times, because everything that you do has a purpose, and there's no silly. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like there's no ridiculous expectations to do something, because everything is just done as you play the game. So like you go and clear all of the first part of the island, I got a trophy for that, and I guess I'll get a trophy for clearing the other two parts. It's like there's nothing you don't do in that game that you're not going to do during the gameplay. So I think it's quite easy to get platinum in that. Like I haven't looked through it extensively.
I haven't.
But I'm guessing that's what it is.
I can see myself doing that. I mean, just pinging around a map is flawless. When the fast travels are on everything, every single thing that you go to, shrines, towns, camps, fox dens, every little thing that you find in there is a fast travel point. I don't know if you noticed, Anna, the load times are like PC speed. 5 seconds, 6 seconds.
Yeah, they're not.
It's like,
they're
what
not long
the
enough
hell?
To look at your phone.
It's so quick. I was like, what the hell is this about? It's so fast. And yeah, I have, like I say, I could happily platinum this game right now, depending on how stupid the challenges are. But I think I was saying this to someone in the week. I think I may have just opted for easy on this, and it is very easy. It is very easy.
Yeah.
It is very easy. I mean, I just literally, I've not died yet, I don't think, in the game, and I rarely need to heal myself.
Yeah, I've got my resolves are just sky high. Like they never go down.
Yeah, I think I've got like about 7 or 8 of them now, and I'm like, I could live with 3, and I never use all 3.
No,
it's insane, and I've got an ability that heals me out of combat now.
Oh, that's
so the second I'm out of combat, I start healing myself anyway. So it's like, well, I never need to be. I'm never going to run out of resolves.
No, it's weird, isn't it? Like you go from The Last of Us, where I did, like, admittedly play on easy because that game scares the bejesus out of me.
Yeah.
But then there's this one. I'm thinking, oh, it's a load of buttons. I'm not going to stand up on it on easy, and I'm thinking, Can I put it up? Do I put it up? And then I don't know can you put it up during, or do you have to start?
Yeah, I think yeah, I'm almost certain you can. Almost certain.
I might put it up to the next
normal.
Yeah, and just
I
see how that is.
might do something similar because I feel like I play for stealth constantly. I play to stealth for everything. Stealth is nowhere near as good as I'm trying to think of stealth games where you are sneaking around. Assassin's Creed, for example, you can go around an entire encampment and kill everything. Yes, the enemies have got eyes like hawks. They see you from a mile away, and it's boom, seen you. You come here straight away. It's like, what the hell? They've got a weird cone of vision where they can see everything all the time. Mm-hmm. But then the second it goes wrong, it's like, right, now it's on. And it's like, everyone, boom, dead, and there's no real challenge, and it's like the only time it's a real challenge, and it happened on stream. I think it must have been one day this week. It's been, and I got into a camp, and I think I had about 15 to 20 guys chasing me.
How?
And I was like,
wow.
Look, I got into one of them big camps, a big camp. And I set the alarms off, and they all came running. And like I say, I was like, okay, let me regroup, okay. And then I kind of bottlenecked them and just kind of picked them off 2 or 3 at a time, and it kind of worked out. But it was hectic for about 30 seconds, and other than that, it's been pretty much plain sailing. Just stealth it until it goes wrong, and then we just start running at people and just watching them panic. I like the bowman when you're running at a bowman and you can see him shooting at you. Yeah. And then the closer you get to them, they start firing quicker in panic, and they miss you, and they're like, oh crap, and yep, you're dead. Just as I start charging at people, I don't like their horns. Their horns annoy me because they alert. The horns, everywhere. Although they don't alert, they don't alert a ton of people. They only alert there must be a radius on it, because only people close to it. If you've got because the farmsteads that we were talking about earlier, there's 3 separate buildings or areas on these farmsteads, and they only alert one sort of area at a time. They never all come at once to you. That's true. I was like, I killed the alarm. They blew the horns, and everyone kind of gathered around, and I killed them all. And I was like, no one at that house there next to it even bothered. Yeah. Tell you the one thing though. The one thing that stresses me the hell out in this game is the people who go charging to kill the hostages. Oh god, yeah. You have to try and panic. Get through. You get a skull and crossbones symbol somewhere pointing to you wherever they are, and you're like, oh crap, and you got to leg it and just charge your way through people to get to this guy who's about to kill one of the hostages who's on the floor. If they kill them, then it's game over. Yeah. Basically, and you're off. But at least it puts you just before that fight, because that would annoy me. The checkpoints are generous. The checkpoints are very generous, so... that was... Don't jump off cliffs, trust me. Oh, you got a parkour from it, that's fine. You got to learn to parkour. I thought, I can survive that, I have done that. I'll just do it with your horse, because your horse will kind of just collapse and you get flung off of it. That thing you're like, oh god. Strong. Yeah, I do feel bad, and I'm like... but the horse gets up. The horse does just jump up and goes, okay, shake that off. It's all right, we're good. Yeah. The last thing I've played, no, not the last thing. The second to last thing I've played is a game called Fall Guys. Have you heard of this? We've watched it.
I want this.
Have you heard?
I want it. I want it very much. Well, look, I missed the weekend.
But it's on again this weekend.
Now I have to wait.
It's on again this weekend.
This week.
It's out on Tuesday as well.
You were right there, Kev.
It's on.
I might have to stream this weekend.
It is so good. I streamed it last weekend. Louis, he's a star. He is. Literally minutes before stream, he went, I've got a code for a game if you want it. I was like, what? Just literally minutes before. The countdown is on my screen, and he's like, I've got a beta code for this game. I was like, what is it? And he was like, it's like Takeshi's Castle. I was like, what? I was like, wait, what? And then I was like, okay, I'm scrambling then. Just about to start Ni no Kuni, I'm scrambling, going, can I download this in the next 2 minutes? Yeah, 300 meg, no problem.
Is that what it is?
It was only 300 meg, yeah, it's not that big. But it is like Takeshi's Castle meets Total Wipeout.
My son loves Takeshi's Castle.
It's great, and is this the new battle royale that might be addicted to? Kinda.
Yeah.
Because it is technically a battle royale, 60 person rounds.
It looks mental.
It is bonkers. It's bonkers and it's so funny and it's really good. It's genuinely good.
You've got 60 people trying to get through false doors. 60
people
funny.
Trying to get through false doors, or like trying to get across these like foam like obstacle courses. And you're all You're all like little jelly bean men or whatever. You're all like little tiny, like kind of like pill shaped characters. And
when you first said this, I googled it and I thought that's not what he's talking about, because it was all this bright, luminous pink stuff.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's the one. It's all very bright and lots of pastel colours and like luminous colours, and it's you have like a series of mini games, and each round a certain number of people qualify through each round. So, like, usually the first round it tends to be one like the false door one, or like the raising and closing doors ones, and you've basically got like 60 people through, and only 45 go through the first round. So you've got to get to that door before everyone else, and you can grab people, you can like grip onto them and stop them from going. But yeah, it's so much fun, and like we played it for about an hour or so on the stream, I think, and continued to play it till about we played for about 5 till 6 on stream, and then probably continued till about 10 o'clock at night, just playing that continuously. Not on stream, off stream, but yeah, it was so much fun. And I know full well I can look at my Discord server now that I go to, and there probably are about half a dozen people playing it right now. The beta's open. I played it but literally before I came in here. I turned it on to see if it was actually working, and it is open again. So yeah, and if you want the beta code, I don't even know I think it might even be open beta now. I don't know. Last weekend it was beta codes, and
I've submitted a request for a review code for it, so hopefully I should get one for I had to send them all my analytics and all that nonsense.
They were literally giving streamers and stuff 70 codes each or something like that. They were giving codes out for fun, and literally you just put it into Twitter and then come back with a load of codes. I think someone was looking for codes last weekend, and he came back with 5. I was like, okay, right, okay, yeah, there you go. But yeah, it's so much fun. It's a super fun game. There's a battle pass in it, from what I've seen, where you like just basically play and you earn the points, and you get like different skins and different colours and different suits and all that stuff. And yeah, it is just super fun. I've never won. I think the closest I got was like 11th or something like that, maybe. But yeah, it is good. It's early access. It's out on the 4th, I think, 4th of August.
Yeah, it's on PlayStation.
It's Tuesday.
Plus, isn't it?
Yeah, it's on PS Plus. That is the other thing. It's on PS Plus this month, so there's no excuse to not to get it if you've got PS Plus. Give it a go, because it is very fun, and that will give it that's the thing. This game will live and die on its audience. If this game won't survive if it's not got people playing it, because it needs it, because it's technically a battle royale, because you need 60 people in a round. Mm-hmm. It's a very smart move to give it away for free initially, because that gives you a player base immediately.
It's like Rocket League, isn't it?
Exactly right.
I made a slightly dumb mistake with this, Pab, in that I saw this mentioned in I think it might have even been like a Eurogamer email, and they had a picture of the game, and they had the title Fall Guys underneath it, and underneath that they had the picture of the Peaky Blinders game. So in my head, Fall Guys was a game about people set in oldie times. And
no.
I was like, so that's part of the reason. When I looked at the picture, well, that's not it. It's the one with the guys in the flat caps and the brown jackets. And I've just gone back to look at why on earth I thought that. Turns out there's a Peaky Blinders game coming up.
Yeah, apparently it's not great. So.
But could you imagine me putting that on, thinking, ooh, I don't understand. No, I just got confused. I'd have been in there while you lot were all battle royale and thinking, what's going on? Why are they talking about gin?
Yeah. Oh, your mind is so funny.
Broken. Wrecked.
Anyway, yeah. The Fall Guys is very good, and give it a go. The last thing I can speak very briefly on the second summer update came out for Animal Crossing. Came out yesterday. Here's my one. You've done your Pokemon in. I'll do my Animal Crossing very briefly. So the latest summer update gives you there's going to be firework shows every Sunday of August now. There's going to be fireworks now, and you can have like personalised fireworks and all that sort of thing. And I don't know how it's going to work because I haven't got there yet because I'm not time travelling because it's coming. It's going to be literally on Sunday. The other thing that I have tried is Dream Islands.
I was about to ask you about that. I saw that mentioned and it didn't make sense.
So Dream Islands is basically a way of getting people to come and view your islands, or people can come and see your islands without you having to give dodo codes out or give out. Basically, have people travel to your island and do what have you. It's like I can go and see anybody. They give you a dream code, whatever it is, and then you just put it out there. And anybody can come and view your island. Just come and see what it's like. They can't go into like the shops or what have you. They can just literally wander around the island and see the residents, see you.
This is what used to be on the old Animal Crossing on the DS, and I loved this feature.
Potentially, I think so. Yeah,
was.
Yeah,
definitely.
So, I didn't get that far in the old ones, but yeah, it's there now. I've been to a few islands today on stream, and it's fun because I wouldn't have ever gone to them. Because I don't know any of these people that I went to. I just went to them because I've basically someone put them into chat and said, go to this island. I went, okay, sure. And it went there, and I've got a page worth of notes of things that I want to do now on my island because of it. So yeah, it's a fun update, and you can, like I say, you can go and see anyone's island. There's all these, like, you can go to Twitter now and just put Dream Island, and there's probably hundreds of codes out there just for you to go and visit these islands, and you don't have to. You don't have to bother anybody. You don't have to mither anybody with it. You don't have to say, "Can you open the gates? Can you do this?" There's nowhere near as much like technical issues of getting there anymore. So yeah, it's a cool idea. And I will put my Dream Island code up there eventually. I'm currently overhauling the entire thing right now, so I don't put it out right now because it goes up as it is. So yeah, the other thing that came in is the island backup service has come in, which I'm not even certain how that works. I'm assuming it's like you could create a backup of your island before you completely bulldoze it and flatten it, and and start again and go, no, I've kind of made a mistake here. Let's go back. Let's revert back an island. I'm presuming that's how it works. That's what makes sense to me. Being called an island backup service, I assume that's how it works, but I'm not certain. But yeah, it's something. And there's more updates coming. There's another update, a fall update, I think, coming up in October. So, there you go. Slowly transitioning away from Animal Crossing. Probably like 1 or 2 streams a week now instead of all the time. They will do it certain sections, and I will continue to check in with it. But it's not going to be my be all and end all anymore. It's just other things I want to play, and there's fewer and fewer things to do in Animal Crossing these days, just because I've effectively...
You've turned your back on your audience, Pab.
I haven't.
You've forgotten who got you where you are.
I genuinely haven't. No, there was just as many people in my Ghost streams as it's been for Animal Crossing streams. So it's the same people. So it doesn't really. It's not really that. But like I say, I'm not disappearing from it. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just reducing how often I do it because, like I say, it became a point in streaming Animal Crossing where for the last hour of a stream, you just see me doing laps around my island, just not doing anything, really, just lapping the island, just wandering about.
Isn't now the sort of time when you need to be digging deep and coming out with some absurd idea that makes you become Mr. Animal Crossing?
Yeah, but I don't have that idea, and people have already done most of the things.
I'd say because Kev manages to string these ideas out of Football Manager every week. It's I'm not. This is I can't remember what I'm trying to say. Is there an Animal Crossing scene that does this sort of thing all around the clock?
I bet there is.
There's a scene for all big games, like long games. Anything that's not a flash in the pan, 8-hour in and out job, there's a scene for. There's definitely Animal Crossing YouTubers out there.
Mm-hmm.
Do you not need to just come up with some absurd thing you can do with it? I mean, I do see that a lot. People do like Pokemon runs with one Pokemon, or I've seen one where like if your Pokemon dies, you can't use it again, so you just have to keep catching new stuff and hoping it doesn't die, and all sorts of absurd things like that. So yeah,
but
that's your challenge now, is it not?
It's like it's not. It's like Kev can do multiple saves on across his Football Manager. Kev can do like things that with Animal Crossing, you get one island, you get one go at it, and to do anything on it, it is laborious and tedious to do anything. Of like, I want to move a house, it takes 24 hours. I want to move a house, it takes 50 grand a time. I want to do it, you know what I mean? And you can time skip and what have you, and that's fine. But then you've also got to have the money to be able to pour into it. You've got to have all the bells to pour into it, and you can do that as well. But it's just time consuming, and to what end? It's not. There's only so far you can go with it.
Entertainment.
Yeah, there's only so far.
The
yeah, you can. You can literally flatten it all and just start again.
Put it underwater.
If you want it, it's not that. You can't do that yet. But yeah, I mean, like I say, I am overhauling the entire island at the minute, doing all sorts of stuff.
Water?
But no. I've already moved the river once. I'm not moving the river again.
Move the river all over the island. I want it to be River Island. Isn't that shocking?
Wow.
I didn't even mean to do that. My brain's like living 10 steps ahead of me all the
Sheepdog
time.
has just segued beautifully to this week's episode sponsor. Pab, drop the ad here.
Oh, God.
God, I hate my brain.
Oh, God. But yeah, it's Animal Crossing, like I say, we'll continue to have updates, and I'll continue to play it bits and pieces here and there. But yeah,
that's 2 mentions they've had tonight. I'm not liking this at all.
John's ears are pricking. I'm back at work Monday. He'll be like,
if we say it a third time, they're bringing that trash back.
Kevin!
Just calm yourself, everybody.
There you go. That is me done. I have nothing else to give you.
Splendid. Well, we'll wrap that up there then, because this is a longer than usual podcast. I'm claiming overtime for this. If you would like to follow us on the Twitter, you can do that at MGUK Podcast, or you can follow me at Lelujo.
Get me at RB6K.
I'm at Miss Lelujo.
And I'm at Pab1986 on Twitter and Twitch.
Look at him plugging his Twitch like a monster.
Got to.
How dare you. See you next week, boys and girls.
Have a good week.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening, folks.